Good morning, children. Yesterday we are seeing about the food security in India. In that we have dealt with the chronic hunger, seasonal hunger, and what are the measures taken by the government to eradicate the poverty in India, to eradicate, to make the food secure in India. That we have also seen. Buffer stock we have seen, PDS system we have seen, MSP, right? Minimum price they have declared. That MSP also we have seen, right? Minimum price declared for the food grains, minimum support price declared for the food grains of the wheat and rice. That all we have seen in the last class. Now let us move further. NSSO. As per the NSSO, I have already told you the expansion of NSSO. It is National Sample Survey Organization. National Sample Survey Organization. Report number 558. In rural India, the per person per month has declined from 6.38 kg in 2004-5 to 5.98 kg in 2011-12. So according to that, in rural India, the per person per month, right, how much he needs, it is 6.38 kg in 2004 and 5, but now it has declined to 5.98 kg in 2011 and 12. So how much food grains he needs here? 6.38 kg, but now it has declined to 5.98 kg. In urban India, the per person per month consumption of rice in 2004-5 it is 2 has declined from 4.71 kg to 4.19 kg in 2011-12. So per capita consumption of PDS means public distribution rice has doubled in rural India and increased by 66% in urban India since 2004 and 5. So per capita consumption it has been doubled in the rural India and 66% in urban India it has been also increased. The per capita consumption of PDS wheat has doubled since 2004-5 in both rural and urban India. So you can see the per capita consumption of wheat has also doubled. The per capita consumption of rice also has doubled both in rural India and the urban India. ಅಂದರೆ ವೀಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಕ್ಕಿ, ಗೋಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅಕ್ಕಿ ತಿನ್ನೋದು ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ತಿನ್ನೋದು ಪರ್ ಮಂತ್ ಏನಾಗೈತಿ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಾಕತ್ತಾರ, ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಾಕತ್ತಾರ. ಬಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿನೈತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೈತಿ. ಮೊದಲು ಎಷ್ಟು ತಿಂತಿದ್ರಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯ? 6.38 kg ತಿಂತಿದ್ದ 2004-5ನಾಗ. ನಾವು ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್? he is eating 6.38 ಮೊದಲು ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಈಗ 5.98 ಬಂದೈತಿ, ರೈಟ್. ಇನ್ನು ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ನಾಗ ಏನಾಗೈತಿ, 4.71 kg ಆಫ್ ರೈಸ್ he was eating, now it has come to 4.19. and what has happened, now they are able to reach the people, 66% ಪೀಪಲ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗೈತಿ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತೈತಿ. that is the ration shops and all the rice and the wheat ಡಬಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗೈತ್ರಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ it has reached the maximum number of the poor people in India. PDS dealers are sometimes found resorting to malpractices like diverting the grains to open market to get the better margin, selling poor quality grains at ration shops, irregular opening of shops, etc. So what happens here, PDS is resorting to malpractices. malpractices ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ, ಏನು ಮಾಡತ್ತಾರ, ಕಳ್ಳ ದಂಧೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತಾರ. ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈವರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ಶಾಪ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅದು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಕ್ಕಿನ ಗೋಧಿನ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ಹೂಮ್, ಟು ದ ಪೂವರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಬಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪೂವರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ರೇಷನ್ ಶಾಪ್ಸ್. ಪೂವರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರೇಷನ್ ಶಾಪಿಗೆ ಮಾರಾಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಚಲೋ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಶಾಪ್ ಕೀಪರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಮಾರುವಂತಹ ಕಳ್ಳ ದಂಧೆ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸು, ರೇಷನ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಓನರ್ಸು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತಾರ. This has proved to be a big problem. When ration shops are unable to sell, a massive stock of food grains piles up with the FCI. So massive stock of food grains is there, but these ration shopkeepers, they are not selling it. Why? They want to maintain a black market. Means they are selling those food grains to whom? To the market. ಶಾಪ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕನ್ನೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕುಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಬದಲು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಬಡವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹಂಚಿ ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅವರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್. In the recent years, there is another factor that has been led to the decline of the PDS. Earlier, every family, poor and non-poor, had a ration card with a fixed quota of items such as rice, wheat, sugar, etc. These were sold at the same low price to every family. The three types of cards and the range of prices that you see today did not exist. So there are three types of cards now: above poverty level, below poverty level, and what you can say, what is that one? Above poverty level, below poverty level, and below poverty level. So there are three types of cards: above poverty level, below poverty level, and above APL cards and BPL cards, and another one card is also there. So for that sake, what is happening now? There are three types of cards and three types of prices are available. So that in the olden days it was not there, so everyone were taking from the ration shops. Because of these three types of cards, now what has happened, the families are less going to the ration shops and they are purchasing the goods and services. These included low income families whose incomes were marginally higher than the below poverty lines. Now with the TPDS of three different prices, any family above the poverty line gets very little discount at the ration shop. So what happens, I told you already, the persons who are having the APL cards, they get very little discount. The price for APL family is almost as high as open market price. So there is little incentive for them to buy these items from the ration shops. So those who are having APL card holders, even though they go to the ration shop, the high price, they have to pay high price. It is almost equal to the market price. 30 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಿಲೋ ಗೋಧಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ನಾಗ ಐತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 28 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೆ ಮಾರ್ತಾರೆ. 2 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಯಾರು ಹೋಗಿ ರೇಷನ್ ಶಾಪ್ನಾಗ ಮುಂಜಾನೆ ಸಂಜೆ ತನಕ ಕ್ಯೂ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ತಗೋತಾರ? So what happens, people are not buying from the ration shop. So what happens, there is lot of surplus food grains are left where? In the godowns, in the garneries of the government. Next one, let us see role of cooperatives in food security. What is the role of the cooperatives in the food security? How the cooperatives are helping the poor people? Let us see what is their role in maintaining the food security of India. The cooperatives are also playing an important role in food security in India, especially in the southern and western parts of the country. So in the southern and western parts of the country, what is happening? They are maintaining the food security in India. The cooperative societies set up shops to sell low priced goods to poor people. Here the cooperatives are sending or societies are set up, they have set up the shops to sell what? Low priced goods to poor people. For example, out of all fair price shops running in Tamil Nadu, around 94% are being run by the cooperatives. So in cooperatives, they get the discount price for the goods and services which you are purchasing. That is happening where? In the Tamil Nadu. You are getting lot of discounts on the goods and services which you are purchasing. If you purchase it in the shop, in the market, then it will be, if the wheat is for 30 rupees kg, in this cooperatives they are sold at very less price, 15 rupees per kg. Then where do you go? You go to the cooperatives. In Tamil Nadu, you are seeing that there are 94% shops are of the cooperatives. See here, so much earning they are doing. In Delhi, Mother Dairy is making strides in provision of milk and vegetables to the consumers at controlled rate decided by the government of Delhi. So Mother Dairy, it is selling the milk as well as the vegetables at controlled rate, means less than the market price they are selling the milk as well as the vegetables. Amul is another success story of cooperatives in milk and milk products from Gujarat. So Amul, it has become successful because it has been started. How the Amul dairy was started? With the cooperatives, with the cooperative of all the farmers. The Amul dairy owner was able to start the milk dairy, milk factory, milk products he was able to produce in Gujarat. It has brought the white revolution in the country. It has brought about the white revolution in the country. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಅಮೂಲ್ ಡೈರಿ ಓನರ್ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೈತರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹಾಲನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ. 50 ಎಲ್ಲ ಈಗ 50 ರೂಪೀಸ್ ಲೀಟ್ರ್ ಐತಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ 40 ರೂಪೀಸ್ ಲೀಟ್ರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಳುಗಳನ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ 45 ರೂಪೀಸ್ per liter. So 5 rupees he was to make the income, and what was happening, he was giving loan to small farmers for cattle rearing. ಆಕಳುಗಳನ್ನ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ, ಲೋನ್ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು ಎಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್. 1% ಬಡ್ಡಿಗೆ, 2% ಬಡ್ಡಿಗೆ ಆಕಳು ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದು ಆಕಳದಿಂದ ಬಂದಂಥ ಹಾಲನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅವರು ಅಮೂಲ್ ಡೈರಿಗನ್ನ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಆ ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಇದರಿಂದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಿಂದ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್, ದ ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟಿವ್ಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್, ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ರಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್, ಇವನ್ ದ ಅಮೂಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾಂಡೆಡ್. He started earning the income, as well as the farmers who were having the cattle, they were also becoming rich along with the Amul dairy. Because of that, one revolution they started in Gujarat, that they are calling it as a white revolution, because the milk revolution started. Every home was having one cattle, and 1 or 2 cattle they were having, and they were collecting the milk and they were sending it to the Amul dairies, and they were earning the incomes. These are the few examples of many more cooperatives running in different parts of the country, ensuring food security of different sections of the society. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಾವೇನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ರೀ, we are seeing that because of this only, food security only, because of that there are so many different sections of the society, people are surviving. I have already told you so many stories. In the one family there are 5 members, 6 members are there, and because of this PDS system, because of this ration shops, they are able to get the rice and wheat at very low prices, and they can satisfy the hunger of the family. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊಕ್ತನ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮದರ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್, ಈಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. Don't tell that I don't like this curry, I don't like this bhaji and all, because no, for some person that is not available. They are starving hard, they are working hard, but they are unable to get the 2 square meals a day. ನಿಮಗೆ ದೇವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾನಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊಕ್ತನ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಕಾಳನ್ನು ಬಿಡ್ಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿನ್ನಿರಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹರ್ಡ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಫ್ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ. ವೆನ್ಎವರ್ he was eating a very simple food, even though he was from a rich family, he was always eating the simple food, and he was not leaving one dal, one rice. He was not leaving one crop of rice also, he was not leaving. He was eating everything that is served in his plate. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಾಕಿಸ್ಕೋರಿ, ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಬಿಡ್ಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿನ್ನಿರಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಮ್ಮಿಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಏನು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ಪಲ್ಯ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸಾರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಂತ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ಉಳಿದ್ರೆ ಬಿಸಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾಳೆಗೆ ತಿನ್ನಿರಿ, ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಫುಡ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್ 6 persons, 7 persons in a family, they are unable to get 2 square meals a day. When God has given to you, don't waste your food. Not only you are making your home waste, ಬಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಒಬ್ಬರು ಊಟನ ಕಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಂತಂದಂಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ನಿಮ್ಮದು. ಊಟ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನೀವು ಒಬ್ಬರು ಊಟನ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಊಟನ ಕಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾರೂ ಊಟನ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ. Similarly, in Maharashtra Academy of Development Science, ADS, underline it, has facilitated a network of NGOs for setting up grain banks in different regions. ADS organizes training and capacity building programs on food security for NGOs. Grain banks are now slowly taking shape in different parts of Maharashtra. ADS efforts to set up grain banks to facilitate replication through other NGOs and to influence the government policies on food security are thus paying rich dividends. So they have started one banks called the grain banks, where you can keep the grains, whatever the food grains you are growing, you have to keep, you have to deposit in that bank. And what happened, they are selling your food grains, right, and they are giving the prices to you. So it is earning lot of rich dividends. The ADS grain bank program is acknowledged as a successful and innovative food security intervention. So what happened, because of that we are seeing that it has undergone a lot of facilities for the farmers, because they are depositing their food grains. When they get the good price, they are selling it in the market, and whatever they are earning the money, they keep 10%, 5% as commission for themselves, and other remaining amount they are giving it to the farmers. And it is run with the help of the NGOs, national general organizations, who are the service providers. On their own they do the service without any profits. These organizations are run, national general organizations. With the help of that, in Maharashtra, Academy of Development Science has facilitated a network of NGOs, and NGOs are running that bank, that is the grain banks they are running, in order to help the poor farmers to get the minimum support price for whatever they are earning. Right, you have to solve the exercise question and answers. You have to write point wise. In order to solve these question answers, if you type in Google NCERT solutions, your class 9th, chapter name economics, chapter name is food security in India, then you will get all the question answers. The answers will be in paragraphs that you have to write point wise. You have to write all the answers point wise. Children, do you understand now? If you type, what you have to do, you have to go in Google, you have to type NCERT solutions, and what is your class 9th, and you have to write the chapter name economics, chapter name is food security in India. Then you will get all the answers for the exercise question and answers. You will get, it will be in paragraphs. What you have to do, you have to write the question and answers point wise. Answers, even though it is paragraph, after full point, make it 1 point, first point, second point, like that you have to write point wise. That paragraphs, no, you have to divide it in the points, and you have to write point wise. A full point ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎರಡನೇ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವೈಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವೈಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Do you understand now how to write question answers? It is very simple. Go to Google NCERT solutions, type your class name and the chapter name, economics chapter name, you will get all the answers. Okay. Next we will move to the democratic politics. In that first chapter, what is a democracy, why democracy? So we will move to the first chapter, that is what is a democracy and why democracy in the democratic politics. Right, this is the another book for you in class 9th. That also I am only going to take you the civics part, that is the democratic politics. Now let us see first one, what is a democracy? Right, why define democracy? Right, let us see now what is the meaning of democracy and why we need to define it. Here there is a conversation between the children. Before we proceed further, let us first take note of an objection by Mary. She does not like this way of defining democracy and wants to ask some basic questions. Her teacher Matilda Lindau responds to her questions as other classmates join the discussions. So here the children are asking the teacher, what is democracy? You know all democracy. Democracy is a government. It is a type of a government by the people, for the people and of the people. This you have learnt, as said by the Abraham Lincoln. Right, the president of America, he told that democracy is the government for the people, by the people and of the people. Let us see now, here the children are having some doubts regarding the democracy. So they are asking teacher, what does actually the democracy means to them? Mary, ma'am, I don't like this idea. First we spend time discussing democracy and then we want to find out the meaning of democracy. I mean, logically, should not we have approached it the other way around? Shouldn't the meaning have come first and then the example? So here she is asking the question, the meaning should come first and then there should be the example for the democracy. Here Linden madam, right, Linden madam, she is telling that I can see your point, but that is not how we reason in everyday life. We use words like pen, rain or love. Do we wait to have a definition of these words before we use them? Come to think of it, do we have clear definition of these words? It is only by using a word that we understand its meaning. So what happens here? They are telling that only after using the word you will come to know the definition or its meaning. Without using, how do you come to know the meaning of the word or the definition of the word? Love means you have to love the people, you have to love your mother, father, then only you have to experience it, then you will come to know the true meaning of it. Rain, you have to experience the rain. ಯಾರ ಒಂದು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಗನ ನೀರು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುರಿದ್ರೆ ಮಳೆ ಬಂದೈತೆ ಅಂತೀರೇನ್ರಿ ನೀವು? ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಗತೀರಿ. ಆಕಿಗೆ ಬಡ್ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಯಾರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀರು ಸುರಿದಿರ್ತಾಳೆ, ಮಳೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತೀರೇನ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದ ರೇನ್, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್, then only you learn the meaning and definition of it. So Linden madam, she is telling here that you have to experience it, then you will come to know the meaning of it. Ribiang, he is asking now, but why do we need to work on a definition? The other day you quoted Abraham Lincoln to us, democracy is government of the people, by the people and for the people. We in Meghalaya always ruled ourselves, that is accepted by everyone. Why do we need to change that? So in Meghalaya he is telling that we are ruled by ourselves, then why there should be a government to rule us? So let us see what madam is telling. I am not saying that we need to change it. I too find this definition very beautiful, but we don't know if this is the best way of defining unless we think about it ourselves. We must not accept something just because it is famous, just because everyone accepts it. So it is nothing like that whatever the madam is telling you should accept it. You should actually feel it, you should actually understand it, and if you find it correct, you should accept it. That is what the madam is telling her. Next one, Yolanda. Ma'am, can I suggest something? She is telling that I want to suggest something. We don't need to look for any definition. I read somewhere that the word democracy comes from a word demokratia. In Greek, demos means people and kratia means rule. So here she is telling that the word democracy, it has come from the Greek word demokratia. It means what? The Greek in demos means people and kratia means rule. It is nothing but the people's rule. This is the correct meaning. What is the need to debate? Why we need to debate? Why we need to make the discussion? The correct meaning of the word demokratia, it is derived from the Greek word demos means the people, kratia means rule. It is nothing but the word meaning is the people rules. Then why we should debate? Why should have the discussion? Then the madam is telling this is also a very helpful way of thinking about this matter. Meaning of the word we have come to know, then why there is no discussion? This is also very good thinking. I would just say that this does not always work. A word does not originally remain tied to its origin. Just think of computers. Originally they were used for computing, that is say calculating very difficult mathematical sums. So originally they were using the computers in order to calculate difficult mathematical sums. But now also you are doing the same thing. For everything you are using the computers. I told you, now to find the question answers also you are using the computers. You go to Google, you type NINCERT solutions, NCERT solutions, your history, social science, history means history, or economics means economics, democratic politics means democratic political science. Chapter name, you get the solutions to all the exercise, question and answers. So it is so easy nowadays by going to that, but just putting enter key, you will get all the solutions for the question and answer. You can see it and you can write the answers for the question. So it has been, nowadays it has become very easy, right? But nowadays very few people use computers for computing sums. Yes, very few people we are using to calculate the mathematical sums. They use it for writing, for designing, for listening to music and for watching film. So only few people are now using it to do mathematical calculations. Now we are using for designing, we are using for writing, we are using for reading, we are using now to reach you people online classes. For that also we are using, for teaching also now we are using the computers, for watching music, for watching movies, listening music, we are using the computers. Words remain the same but their meaning can change with the time. So word computer is the same but its meaning has been changed from time to time. In that case it is not very useful to look at the origins of the word. Now we need not look for the origin of the word. If you look at the origin of the word, then what happened? There are a lot of changes happening. Mary ma'am, so basically what you are saying is that there is no shortcut to our thinking about the matter ourselves. We have to think about its meaning and evolve a definition. So here is they are asking that there is no shortcut to our thinking about the matter ourselves. We have to think about its meaning and you have to evolve a definition. Lyndon madam is telling that you got me right. Let us get on with it now. So in order to understand something, what we have to think, we have to learn its meaning as well as its definition also. Then only we can understand the concept properly. So understanding is most important. So many children ask me, madam, should we write the notes? Should we write the notes? What is the use of writing the notes? You have to understand the concepts. ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಐತ್ರಿ, ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೋದಲ್ಲ. ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಕಿವ್ಯಾಗ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಹಚ್ಕೋತೀರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಬರ್ಕೋತ ಕುಂದಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಏನೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀರಾಗ ಹುಣಸೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಕೆರೆ ಒಳಗೆ ನೀರಾಗ ತೊಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ, ಏನೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಹೇಳ್ಯಾರ, ಮಿಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಯಾರ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ಅದ್ರ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಕಿವ್ಯಾಗ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೋತ ಬರ್ಕೋತ ಕುಂದಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಏನೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. That is of no use. If you understand the concepts, then it is most important. Notes ಬರೆಯೋದು important ಅಲ್ರಿ, you have to understand the concepts. Whatever I am teaching, you have to understand it. That is most important. You have to understand each and every concept. Then you will write it in your paper. If you are simply writing the notes, teacher has said, for that sake you are doing, it is no use. So only I am telling, don't write the notes, only write the exercise, question and answers. Read the textbook again and again. I had already told you, textbook is the mother of 100 books. Textbook, it is not written by one professor and all the professors sit together, all the psychologists sit together, they are all PhD holders, MPhil. Those people, master of philosophy people, write your textbook. How much is needed to you, what is needed to you, they are writing the textbooks, right? Don't underestimate their strengths. Don't treat the textbook as a dustbin or a bin, only notes. No, you have to read the textbook. There are a lot of figures are there, there are a lot of cartoon characters are coming, everything is there. It is so colorful. Read the textbook. Textbook is very very important. Read line to line textbook, because textbook is the mother of 100 books. A simple definition. Let us get back to our discussion on similarities and difference on the governments that are called. So let us see now democracies. One simple factor common to all democracies is government is chosen by the people. So one common factor or one simple factor which is common in all democracies is the people chosen. The people will choose the government. Government is chosen by whom? By the people. ಸರ್ಕಾರನ ಯಾರು ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ಕಾರನ ಯಾರು ಇದೇ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, ಇದೇ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಅದು ಜನ, ಪೀಪಲ್. Right, we could thus start with a simple definition. Yes, let us start with the simple definition of the democracy. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. Yes, this democracy is a simple form of government in which the leaders or the rulers who are ruling us, they are elected by whom? By the people ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ ಜನ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳು, by the citizens of our country. This is useful starting point. This definition allows us to separate democracy from forms of government that are clearly not democratic, right? This is the one thing by that we can differentiate with the other forms of government. Let us see what are the other forms of the government which are not democratic. Means people are not choosing them. People are not choosing the leaders in those types of governments. Let us see what is it. The army rulers of Myanmar were not elected by the people. Army rulers. Are you electing them? ಆರ್ಮಿನಾಗ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಯಾರು ಬೇಡ, ಜನ ನೀವು ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ನೀವು ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ನೋ. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಮಿ ರೂರಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಮಯನ್ಮಾರ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಓಲ್ಡನ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬರ್ಮಾ, ನೌ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮಯನ್ಮಾರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಮಯನ್ಮಾರ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ರೂಲಿಂಗ್? ಆರ್ಮಿ ರೂಲರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರೂಲಿಂಗ್. Those who happened to be in control of the army became the rulers of the country. So here army rulers, army people who were protecting the country, now they are ruling the country. Became the people had no say in this decision. Dictators like Pinochet child are not elected by the people. You can see child. Dictators like child, they are not elected by the people. Whatever the child says, they have to do it. This also applies to monarchies. Monarchies means king's rule. This is applying to the king's rule. The kings of Saudi Arabia rule not because the people have chosen them to do so, because they happen to be born into the royal family. It's very important. Here in Arabs, the kings of the Arabs are ruling the Arab countries. Here people have not chosen them as their kings. People have not chosen them because they are born in the royal family, because they are the children of the king, they become the kings. This simple definition is not adequate. Adequate means it is not sufficient. Let us see. It reminds us that democracy is people's rule. So what is democracy? I already told you. In Greek word, demos means people, kratia means rule. So democracy means it is the people's rule. But if we use this definition in an unthinking manner, we would end up calling almost every government that holds an election a democracy. Yes, whatever all the governments which are holding the elections, we call them as the democracy. Is it so? No, it is not like that. Let us see. That would be very misleading. It will be very misleading. As we shall find out in chapter 3, every government in contemporary world wants to be called a democracy, even if it is not so. So every country in the world wanted to call itself as a democratic country, even though if it is not so. If it is not so also, they wanted to call themselves as a democratic country. Why it is like that? Let us see. That is why we need to carefully distinguish between a government that is a democracy and one that pretends to be one. So that because of that we need to differentiate them on the basis that whether it is a democratic or non-democratic. Because every government, every country wants to tell that its government is a democratic type of government. We can do so by understanding each word in the definition carefully and spelling out the features of the democratic government. By spelling each word and by understanding the meaning of democracy, we can clearly think that. Here you can see here they are struggling hard to put the democracy. Here you can see these are the military rulers. They are struggling hard to show that their type of government is also a democratic type of government. Let us see the features of democracy. What are the features or what are the characteristics of the democracy? Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. So you already know it that democracy is a type of government where the people are going to elect the people are electing the leaders, or people are going to elect the rulers. This raises many questions. This is raising many questions. Who are the rulers in this definitions? Means who are the ruling? Which officials must be elected for any government to be called a democracy? Which decisions may be taken by non-elected officials in a democracy? So who are the rulers in the democracy? Who are the officials who are taking the decision in the democracy, right? Who are the elected officials, non-elected officials in the democracy? So these are the questions here. Next one, what kind of election constitutes a democratic election? So what kind of election? We are going to say that it is a democratic election. ಯಾವ type of election ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು democratic election ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. What conditions must be fulfilled for an election to be considered democratic? What conditions are there? ನೀವ ಬಂದು ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ it is a democratic type of elections. ಗುಂಡಾಗಳು ರೌಡಿಗಳು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಇದೇ ಪಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕಂದ್ರೆ then it is a non-democratic election. Who are the people who can elect the rulers or get elected as rulers? Yes, who are the people who are going to elect the rulers? Whether they are a citizen of India or they are a citizen of America or somewhat. Which countries rulers and which citizen, and who are going to become the rulers? Who should be get elected as the rulers? What are their qualifications? Are the conditions? Right. Finally, what kind of a form of government is democracy? So what kind of government, what form of government we are going to call it as a democracy? Let us see. Can elected rulers do whatever they want in a democracy? ಹೌದು, elected rulers ಏನಿರ್ತಾರ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾರ, ನಮ್ಮದು MLAs ಏನಿರ್ತಾರ, MPs ಏನಿರ್ತಾರ, they can do whatever they want in the democracy. Are they doing it? No, it is not according. They have to follow the rules and regulations which are there in the constitution of our country. They cannot do whatever they want, right? Or must democratic government function with some limits? Is it necessary for a democracy to respect some rights of the citizens? So these are the questions. Respect, yes, government is functioning with some limits. They have to follow the rules and regulations which is there in the constitution. They cannot do whatever the rules and regulations they want. They cannot follow it in our country. There are rules and regulations fixed in our country. They have to follow the rules and regulations which are there in our constitution, and everyone should follow the laws of our country. Whether you may be the president, whether you may be the prime minister, whether you may be the chief minister of our country, what you have to follow? You have to follow the laws of our country. Everyone are equal before the law, right? Major decisions by elected leaders, right? Major decisions are taken by the elected leaders. In Pakistan, General Pervez Musharraf led a military coup in the October 1999. So what happened in Pakistan? General Pervez Musharraf was leading a military coup in October 1999. He overthrew a democratically elected government and declared himself the chief executive of the country. So what he did, democratically elected government was there, he overthrew it, he removed it, and he declared himself as the prime minister or the chief executive of the country. Later he changed his designation to president, and in 2002 held a referendum in the country that granted him a 5-year extension. Here what he declared, after some times he declared his designation as the president of the country, and in 2002 he held a referendum, means he extended his rule, he granted himself again a 5-year extension of the rule. Pakistani media, human rights organization and democracy activists said that the referendum was based on malpractices and fraud. So what that said, all the human rights, the activists, the media people said that it is based on malpractices and fraud. Here you can see There is a cartoon picture in Syria, right? The woman who is holding the justice, who is the democracy. No entry before you fill that form and become a member in Al Baath Party. Is that clear? So here in Syria he is telling that there is no room for democracy. If you become the member of Al Baath Party, then you have to get entry in the Syria, in our country. Read the cartoon. Syria is a small West Asian country. The ruling Ba'ath Party and some of its small allies are the only parties allowed in that country. Do you think this cartoon could apply to China or Mexico? What does the crown of leaves of democracy signify? Here you can see there is no democracy only. In Syria they are telling that if you become the member of Ba'ath Party, then only you are allowed to come inside the Syria. Otherwise you will be thrown out of the country. So it is the dictatorship of government is there. There is only one party which is ruling, like China and Mexico, same thing, only one party is ruling. If you agree to the rules and regulations of that party, then only you are allowed to live in that country. Otherwise you will be thrown out of the country. Let us see here. Read the cartoon Democracy. This cartoon was drawn in the context of Latin America. Do you think it applies to the Pakistan situation as well? Think of the other countries where this could apply. Does this happen sometimes in the country as well? Yes, in lot of countries it is happening. They are not following the rules and regulations of the country. They are not following the laws. Only by showing the guns, by putting the army force, they are ruling the country. So let us see what happened about the Pervez Musharraf, how he made the malpractice and how he became the president.